Have you ever felt offended by something that someone said or did, even if it wasn't intentionally meant to hurt you? Do you find yourself dwelling on negative comments or situations and struggle to let them go? Is it difficult for you to differentiate between constructive criticism and personal attacks in your interactions with others? If you have answered yes to any of these questions, then you are not alone. Many people fall into the trap of taking things too personally, and often interpret others' words and actions as reflections of their worth or character. The truth is, this mindset often leads to unnecessary pain and conflict. In today's episode of the Anger Secrets podcast, I'm going to share with you how to stop taking things personally, so that you can maintain your composure, control your anger, and build calmer, happier, and more loving relationships. Hello and welcome to episode 96 of the Anger Secrets podcast. I'm your host, Alistair Dews, and over the last 30 years, I've taught over 15,000 men and women how to control their anger, master their emotions, and create calmer, happier, and more respectful relationships. Today, I will share with you 2 practical strategies to help you stop taking things personally and improve your overall well-being. But before I do, if you'd like my help to control your anger, master your emotions, or create calmer, happier, and more respectful relationships, simply visit my website at angersecrets.com and book a free 30-minute anger assessment call with me. I'd be honoured to support you on your anger management journey. For now, however, let's dive into today's topic: how to take things less personally. Learning not to take things personally is one of the most important skills you can develop when it comes to managing your anger and building healthier relationships. When you take things personally, you fall into the trap of seeing other people's actions or words as direct reflections of who you are. But more often than not, this isn't the case. Let me start with a story about one of my clients, Sarah. Sarah is a successful businesswoman who first came to see me as she often found herself taking her colleagues' comments too personally. Every small criticism, every offhand remark, or every piece of constructive feedback from her team members would leave Sarah feeling hurt or upset. As a result, Sarah found it difficult to work in teams and often avoided collaboration with her colleagues, fearing that she would be judged or criticized. When Sarah and I began working together, I introduced her to 2 powerful concepts, namely, it's not about you, or it is about you. Let me explain these in more detail, starting with it's not about you. When someone says or does something that upsets you, it's natural to assume that they are intentionally trying to hurt you. However, the truth is, most of the time, the things we take personally have nothing to do with us. They are often reflections of the other person's state of mind, their stress levels, or their own insecurities. Once I shared this idea with Sarah and she started applying this principle, things changed for her. For instance, when a colleague criticized her in a meeting, instead of internalizing it, she would pause and think, this isn't about me. This is about their thoughts and opinions and reflects just one way of seeing the situation. There will be other perspectives. This simple shift in thinking helped Sarah to view her colleagues' comments as just that, their opinions and not personal attacks against her. As a result, she was able to respond calmly and professionally, rather than defensively. Another client of mine, James, faced a similar issue to Sarah, but this time at home. James's wife would often make remarks such as, "You never help around the house," which often left James feeling attacked or defensive. As a result, James and his wife would often end up in heated arguments. When James started applying the "it's not about you" principle, he realized that his wife's comments were often a result of her feeling overwhelmed with her own responsibilities at home. Instead of arguing back, James started offering help. This not only prevented the tension between them, but also strengthened their relationship. Principle 2. It is about you. The principle that other people's comments are not about you is powerful in many situations. But what about those situations when what someone says is about you? Perhaps there is a grain of truth in their words, for example, even if it is hard to hear, or you know what the other person's saying is true. In these situations, how you respond makes all the difference. Let's use another client of mine, Simon, to illustrate this idea. Simon's wife often said to him that you never listen to me. Usually when Simon heard this, he would get defensive and insist that it wasn't true. But after I asked Simon to think about this more, he admitted that there were times when he didn't fully listen to his wife in conversations. As a result of this, Simon decided to acknowledge his wife's feedback and work on being more attentive. He started saying things to her such as, "I'm sorry if I haven't been listening as well as I could. Let's work on this together." This response validated his wife's feelings and also showed her that he was willing to improve and work on their relationship, which of course led to a much better outcome. Following Simon's lead, if you find yourself in a situation where you're being criticized and it hits home, start by taking a step back. Ask yourself if there's any truth to what is being said. If there is, acknowledge this truth. This doesn't mean admitting fault or lowering your self-esteem. It simply means that you are open to growth and improvement. Taking this approach not only promotes personal growth, but also fosters healthier communication in your relationship. By accepting constructive feedback gracefully, you show willingness to learn and adapt and set a positive example for others, encouraging an environment where everyone feels safe to express their thoughts and feelings. Okay, so let's recap what we've covered today. In this episode, I've discussed why taking things personally is a natural response, but it often leads to unnecessary pain and conflict. Instead, when you find yourself feeling attacked or criticized, take a moment to ask, is this about me? If the answer is no, remind yourself that the other person's words or actions likely have more to do with their own situation than with you. Respond with empathy, and you'll find that many potential conflicts can be diffused before they start. However, if the other person's words do have some truth to them, take a step back and acknowledge them. Acknowledge the truth in their words and be open to growth. Remember also that constructive feedback is a tool for personal improvement, not a weapon. By practicing these strategies, you will not only be able to handle criticism and conflict more effectively, but also create healthier and more positive relationships with those around you. Okay, there you have it, how to take things less personally. Remember, changing how you respond to others takes time and effort, so be patient with yourself as you work towards implementing these strategies. If you found this episode helpful, please follow this podcast, leave a rating and review on your favorite podcast app, or share it with others who might benefit from these tips. And don't forget, my website, angersecrets.com, offers a range of free resources to help you control your anger, including a free training on my top 3 secrets to control your anger in any situation. You can access this training on my website at angersecrets.com/training. And finally, remember, you can't control other people, but you can control yourself. I'll see you in the next episode. Take care.
The Anger Secrets podcast is for general informational purposes only, and does not constitute the practice of counseling, psychotherapy, or any other professional health service. No therapeutic relationship is implied or created by this podcast. If you have mental health concerns of any type, please seek out the help of a local mental health professional.